which one you're going to get, and our Zerg player is not going to be very happy with the result.
No, he is not. He's spawning down to the lower left-hand position of Way Station, representing Team Acer, needing to win this game to stay in the show match. It is Acer's Nerchio. And his opponent up to the top right, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. We have Bunny.
Alright, so what I was saying before is basically because not only is this pretty short rush distance, but it's pretty short rush distance, so there are some things you can do as a Zerg player. You can go for some roach-based plays, stuff like that, but if the Terran sees that coming, they can just... Like, roach plays kind of have to take them at least a little bit by surprise, otherwise they can just have, like, 3 or 4 tanks and you're going to do nothing. The biggest thing is that, like, a lot of roach plays are like, oh, at least, at the very, very least I can deny your third base or delay your third base. Not on this map. No, the Terran player just floats to this island, and there's nothing you could do about that if you're going roach-based. Now, the other spawn locations are kind of the same thing as, like, a cross-spawn Frost or Altrazim, in that it's just so far away, it takes so long to get to your opponent's base, that Ling Muta Bane is incredibly powerful. But it's going to be hard for Nerchio to take this one.
Now, statistically speaking, if we plug in that Bunny has got the 4-2 advantage, it gives Bunny a heck of a high percentage to take this overall series. However, you at home, you seem to be a little bit more optimistic about this. Still currently sitting only with about 60-40 split in Bunny's favor at the moment. So let's see if your support is actually going to help Nerchio be able to overcome what could be quite a challenging map for many Zergs in these spawn positions, and see if he's able to keep this season going. Of course, if we do go into another map after this, there's only 7 maps in the map pool, and that means they will be replaying one of the maps we've already seen. It just can't be Way Station twice in a row.
Now, I want to take a second here to give a shout out to our dedicated observer who hasn't been getting very much attention tonight. So I want to give a quick shout out here to @SE2Yosu, which is SE2JOSU on Twitter. Give him a follow. He is a pretty cool caster based out of Finland. And he's a cool guy. He's
doing an awesome job observing as well. He was actually absolutely fantastic. Contacted me through Team Liquid after I did an analysis of the Huck Snoot show match, saying that one of the big issues was having to do the obs and stream production and casting all at once. And it was like, hey, Madals, maybe I can help out with the obs. So big shout out to him. He's been doing such a fantastic job. So do go check him out on Twitter.
And he's a cool guy, so he deserves your follows.
He does. All the follows. Anyway. What doesn't want to be followed is a Reaper by Zerglings. Or at least he doesn't mind being followed, he just doesn't want to be surrounded by them.
Oh, man, Nerchio cutting it a bit close with those 2 workers, but really nice timing on building the Spine or the Spore rather, and the Extractor respectively, keeping those 2 drones alive. And the Lings have gotten this Reaper pretty low on health, but now it's going to start regenerating. It's just going to run a little bit of ring around the rosy here with those Lings, killing off both of them. Second Reaper popping on in now. There's a 3rd Reaper on the way as well. So once again, Bunny going to be opting for those 3 Reapers. But this time, Nerchio has gotten those 2 Lings past. He's going to try to kill off the SCV at building the CC, but a 3rd Reaper spawning should be able to kill those off before they do any real damage to the SCV.
The SCV going to get back in. 2 more Reapers are getting a little bit aggressive, though, over the natural base of Nerchio, picking away at some drones. So far, a grand total of 1 worker has died. Only 1. He was the unlucky one, drew the short straw. The Reapers, though, they're staying up. All 3 of them are currently alive. That means Combat Drugs can get a healing away nice and quickly, getting them back up to full health super fast.
Because remember, kids, apparently, according to StarCraft 2 Terran, drugs are good for you. Think about it. Stim is a good thing, apparently. Combat drugs are a good thing.
Combat drugs are only good. Like, let's be fair about that. But Stim, it has drawbacks. It does significantly shorten your lifespan. It is basically the cocaine of StarCraft 2.
Well, we do have the Reapers popping in once again here to the main base. One of them going down. So far, 3 drones dying here. If he gets out, losing only 1 Reaper, that is a pretty decent trade, and he does. Had he lost another one, that would have been a little bit less positive. But behind this, we do have the Hellion follow-up with what looks like a Banshee follow-up behind that. So once again, we do have the Hellion zooming out straight away to join forces with those Reapers. The Reapers, once again, taking a little bit of damage, not quite able to cancel that Creep Tumor. And Bunny has done a pretty good job so far. 5 worker kills is not bad at all. It's not the 10 that he had on Frost, but Nerchio has definitely been more on point with his Reaper defense since that Frost game.
Waiting to see if these Banshee are going to be able to get much damage down when they come out. The Hellions and the Reapers poking and prodding at those Queens for the moment. Once more, we've got the lair coming down from Nerchio as he goes up to 3 gases so far. Are we going to see the 4th, or is it going to be a Roach speed-based play? Well, no Roach run yet, so probably not, but interesting there's only 3 gases at the moment.
4th one
No.
being added on now,
Okay.
but it is a little late. Oh, we do have a bit of suicide missions coming on here for Bunny, getting 2 Reapers and 3 Hellions into the base. He actually cancels the lair. That's a little interesting, and I'm not sure if that was entirely intentional. I don't see what the point of that is. He's not going to lose too many workers here, but so overall, decent control there out of Nerchio to minimize damage taken, but the cancel on the lair, that really hurts. That's going to slow his tech down immeasurably.
This is quite irritating at the moment. And when you see what is going to come down with this Banshee though, because this could be quite irritating in terms of
there's going to be no overseers. I mean, there's no cloak.
Yeah, there's no cloak, so it doesn't actually matter.
Okay. No,
for a second, I panicked. Then I was like, I did check for cloak, and then you were like, "There's no overseers." Okay, still good. The queens, 2 queens out the front, so they're going to take a long time to get back.
All right, here we go. In comes the Banshee. 1 kills, 2 kills, 1 kills. Well, he's having a little bit of trouble focus firing the ones that are weakened, so there we go. Forced to take a little extra damage than he, probably more than he would have wanted to, but getting out 5 kills and getting out with his life, not bad at all. 3rd base coming on down here for Nerchio, and Nerchio doesn't really have any way to be too aggressive here, because he's basically sitting on no lair tech. Lair is about halfway done. Does he have speed? He does not have speed. No Roach Warren. So he's in a bit of a rough spot with that, but on the other hand, he does still have a good 54 workers, which considering that 18 have died is actually a pretty respectable number. And he has a huge upgrade lead.
Roach Warren now coming through, but as you said, the upgrade lead pretty substantial right here. Plus 1-1, only just now beginning for Bunny. Meanwhile, Bunny is going to fly over with his 3rd CC. He's got a single Viking out. I really love getting a Viking out as a Terran up against Zerg, because you can then sit there and happily start picking away at Overlords. And this is actually a surprisingly annoying amount of damage. Nerchio gets supply blocked by this. Even though it's just momentarily, it's still an irritation that he has to deal with.
Yeah, and he's going to lose quite a few of these Overlords too if the Viking can find them all. He's already got 2 kills. There's still 2 over to the west and 1 over to the east. That's pretty far away from home. And that's going to be a bit of a rough loss for him. Bunny's already up by a good 20 supply. Really, the only disadvantage that he has is the upgrades right here. So, I mean, if we can see Nerchio hit a bit of a timing of 2-2 perhaps, then he can really start to try to be in a pretty favorable position here. But Bunny's in a really good spot once again.
Nice bit of damage coming through there. Forward, still come all those Marines. Forward comes those Widow Mines. This 12-minute push, or 11 to 12-minute push, has been coming through repeatedly from Bunny in any of these games, and really Nerchio is just rapidly trying to get out a decent number of Roaches to try and defend this. He's currently got 10 on the field, but this 3rd hatch is in some difficulties. This infantry can focus that down exceptionally quickly.
Yeah, even without upgrades, the Marines are able to do quite a bit of damage there to that hatchery. With the transfuses there, he's not going to try to go for it. Instead, he's going to opt to lift 16 Marines into the main here, and from there try to do a little bit more damage. In comes the stem. One of the medevacs very, very low. Could well go down to this 4-crawler. Nope, good micro here from Bunny. Bunny, though, losing the majority of his Marines, but some of them are still alive in the main, continuing to do a bit of damage here. Nerchio starting up 2-2, has lost a lot of his upgrade lead. He took a while to start that 2-2 upgrade. And while he's gotten a pretty good trade here, especially picking off one of the medevacs, overall, Bunny's still in a really good spot here. He hasn't started his own 2-2. Actually, does he have an armor yet? I don't...
Yeah, he does. He's just started 2-2.
He does. All right,
it's just started up.
He's starting up now. So he's only 30 seconds behind on the upgrades now, which is basically Nerchio's biggest advantage is gone, which really kind of hurts.
So, Nerchio adding in Passaging Glands now, going up towards that Hive Tech. Quick Ultras, definitely looking to be on the cards along with those fungal growths, so it's a different approach.
I really, really like the choice to go Infestors. It's not something he's done this series so far, but it is definitely a way to try to turn the tides of the battle. In ZvT, you can get some good lockdowns on the fungals, get some Banelings to connect, or even Ultralisks, as you were saying. They have some really great flat splash damage that they do. This could be something that could help him try to get back into this game. One good engagement with Infestors is all you really need.
Waiting to see now if we're going to get too much else. Oh, the 4th base of Nerchio taking quite a bit of damage from a drop here. This is really annoying. Forces a cancel, and that again traps Nerchio on equal bases with Bunny. Not something that you ever really want. Those 6 infestors about to pop out though. They've got, obviously, pathogen glands, which means they can fungal growth from the moment they spawn. Adrenal glands also coming down for the speedlings, plus the Ultralisk Cavern is now on its way.
Yeah, so the Ultras are going to be on the cards here, as you pointed out. Nerchio trying his best to secure this 4th base up once again. A little bit of a poke coming forward with about 6 Marines, or 7 Marines, and a medevac just to clear out some creep. Bunny doing a great job of clearing up his opponent's creep this game. He's really been great about that this whole series, really. And from here, Nerchio does have a nice little bit of a tech advantage, so to speak. He's got Tier 3 well underway, Ultralisk Cavern almost done, Adrenal Glands on its way, and with 2-2 nearing completion, he could also start 3-3. It's going to be expensive. He may not want to do that straight away, as we do have a big army here from Bunny moving on forward, but without Banelings, this is going to be hard to defend, but he does have Infestors.
Fungal growth can really turn the tide of a battle incredibly quickly. Gotta hit them well though, and of course, those tanks dish out a surprising amount of damage. A couple of Fungals going down, but good splits from the Team Liquid Terran, who's also dropping at the 4th base. Going to be forcing another cancel there. Tough times.
Yeah, he's going to try to deny the cancel is Nerchio, but it's not going to come down in time. The big engagement coming on down, some good Fungals coming in for our Acer player. He's trying desperately to buy time for the 3 Ultralisks to spawn. They will be ready soon, but they're not quite ready just yet, and we do have the Terran army encroaching, and no more Fungal energy is left, Madals. That's a bit of an issue here. The Ultralisks will be spawning from the natural now, and they can try to go for a bit of an engagement here. Is that going to be enough to push him back? Bunny does not have all that many Marauders in this army. A couple of the tanks are going to go down pretty quickly, but with chitinous plating not quite done yet, the Marines aren't exactly useless against these Ultras yet, but it will be enough to force Bunny home.
Bunny retreating very quickly. Nerchio just holding on for the moment, but bear in mind his 4th was forced to cancel yet again. Bunny already has a 4th planetary fortress morphing in here, so he's going to be on equal bases. Currently a base up right now. Very good spot for the Terran player. Nerchio, though, adding in more Ultras. He's at that Tier 3 tech. He's adding in the 3-3 upgrades. Got that chitinous plating nearly finished as well. And that is where things start getting very scary, especially since these Infestors are going to be gathering up energy for more Fungals all the time.
Yeah, he lost a couple of the Infestors, but he didn't lose all of them, which is a bit of an important thing to note here, because those 3 are still alive. 3 is... you don't need that many Infestors to turn the tide of a battle with Ultralisks in your army. 3 is more than enough if they have the energy for it. Bunny's still looking in a commanding position here, but this is by no means over, because when you get to Tier 3 tech as a Zerg player, when you get to this kind of an army with a lot of Ultras, a lot of Infestors in here, even if he adds in a couple Banelings, he doesn't have a Baneling nest, I guess, but one really, really good engagement is enough to give you a bit of momentum that you can try to use to push your opponent back across the map and do some damage yourself. And slowly but surely try to get yourself back into this game. With the 4th base finishing up, finally Nerchio is going to be able to be even on bases once again.
While this aggression in the front of the map's coming through, a drop is coming in towards Nerchio's main base as well. Coming over that island expansion, heading to the natural base, and this is completely undefended at the moment. At the same time, over to the right of the map, we've got Bunny pushing forward. He's got a lot of tanks here, sieging up in a good position, wants to try and take out this 4th, and he's splitting Nerchio's army quite nicely.
Nerchio is going to try to come in from the side with a couple of the Ultras, but instead opting not to do so. A bit of confusion there on the Ultras by the looks of it. A lot of tanks getting 3 shots on those Ultras to the side. Nerchio really hesitating to engage here, and finally he's going to go in. The scan comes on down. The Fungals have not landed. Finally, some really nice Fungals coming in, but is it too late? A lot of the Ultras have gone down, but no, it is not too late. Nerchio is able to push on through and crush this army. Some of the Ultras still alive. No Infestors with Fungal energy here, but he will be able to chase down some of this army. He shouldn't be engaging this, though, with that many Marauders here. He's got to pull back with these Ultras.
The Ultras retreating away. One more goes down. A second could be in a little bit of danger. It's very, very low on HP. Losing an Ultra really does hurt. The Queen count is currently only at 4, so not many transfuses available for them. The 4th base is looking dangerous yet again for Nerchio. The Roach is trying to engage up against us. A couple of Lings coming through. It's just going to be enough to deal with this force. More reinforcements coming through, though, from Bunny. This is still an equal base position at the moment for these 2 players, and that favors Bunny as it stands.
Yeah, we do have more and more Ultras in production coming on out here for Nerchio. He's not dead yet, but he's fighting to stay alive on an army composition that's good, but not great in the later game. He's going to need to try to stabilize, try to get some really good gas income his way, and come up with a good transition. This is a really good engagement for him, catching a couple of the tanks unsieged, some more Fungals going on down here. but he doesn't really have anything to kill the Medivacs, which is one of the really expensive units that he would like to be able to kill, and he's even losing a couple of Infestors that are not really necessary losses here.
The fungal growths are very limited. There's only a single Infestor left on the field, 2 more coming out. But as you've mentioned, Penguin, Nerchio really hurting for resources. Only on those 4 bases. His main is mined out. His natural's getting pretty low. And as a result, trying to produce both a lot of Ultras and Infestors means he needs so much gas. And being limited to only 8 gases rather than the sort of 10 you might expect at this stage of the game is making it quite difficult to Nerchio to keep taking these trades. But army supply-wise, he's pretty similar still, so he's still holding on.
Oh, he's looking for a counterattack, and I don't know if this is worthwhile because Nerchio is 4 bases. If he's trading 1 base for 1 base with a Terran who's going to be on 6 bases in a second, that is not an ideal trade. He will pick off the 4th very, very swiftly, but it's not forcing Bunny back, and Bunny will also take out his opponent's 4th here. And with a couple of Ultras trying to get some damage done here at the 3rd, we'll see if he can get done what he needs to. But some good kiting coming out of Bunny. One of the Ultras is down. The other Ultra is going to go down. 4 more coming in from the west. Should be enough to deal with this, but this is a really weird situation now.
It really is. There's always the lift that can come down for Bunny, and there's nothing that Nerchio can do about that. So hypothetically, we could see a building floated to the island expansion, and frankly, Nerchio would just then be completely screwed. He couldn't stop that. Coming back though to deal with this army, he's lost his 4th and 3rd base. But remember, if Nerchio GG's out of this game, he loses the show match. So he's going to be fighting to his last dying breath.
Well, he gets some good fungals here. The Ultras coming in from all sides, trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Some units are lifted up, but a lot of them do get killed off, and now that leaves Nerchio with a pretty sizable supply advantage, but a lot of that is in drones that aren't really doing anything right now. He saved a lot of the drones there from the 3rd and the 4th base, and they're just kind of there right now. He's going to force a lift here on the 6th base of Bunny. Nerchio cannot breach that natural.
Also, Nerchio, as far as I'm aware, doesn't know about that top left-hand base as of yet. And so, because he doesn't know about that, he may be thinking, alright, I'm not in that much of a bad spot. He's only got his 3rd remaining, I can pick that off, that's not completely secured. So this top left-hand base for Bunny is so important for him. It's giving him this mineral income, allowing him to continue production, whereas Nerchio, he is broke. Really broke.
Yeah. Nerchio is going to be double expanding now back to his 3rd and his 4th. Also able to temporarily deny the lift up to the island here, which is a nice little Overlord creep maneuver that's been going on basically all game here. But this army of Nerchios is basically mass Ultralisks with barely any support right now. He will find the base at the top left, which is really nice. Mass Ultras do pretty well against Planetary Fortress. He's actually going to turn around. No, he's not. Okay. He is going to go and try to kill that off. Good call here. That's going to be a nice little move here, but Bunny does still have a very sizable army with a lot of Marauders moving out towards the re-established 4th base of Nerchio.
So Nerchio needs this 4th. So badly does he need this 4th. Units trying to come back, but look at how many Marauders are in this composition. The Ultralist count is not that high at the moment. It's currently sitting there at 9, so okay, that is alright. It's the Infestors that are a bit limited, but not all this army's here. Nerchio, is he going to end up losing that 4th base? It looks like he doesn't have much choice. Going to probably have to force a cancel here. But it may give him the option to engage up against Bunny. He's bringing some units over. Does he have enough?
He has reestablished his 3rd base at least, so either way, he does have an additional base up, but he's going to try to go for it. The Ultra's coming in from the side, another Infestor coming in flank as well. One more final fungal growth goes down. He has 1 left. It will be an okay one. Nerchio plummeting in supply, though. Bunny still holding strong. A lot of Medivacs in here, a lot of Marauders in here. Low health on all those units, but there's not enough damage here to deal with them. The Ultras are falling. Bunny pushing forward here. Just 3 Ultras remain, and this base looks like it may be killed off as well.
The Ultralisk's falling, another one going down, and with all of these losses, it's bad news for Nerchio. He doesn't have the money to resupply those. Bunny takes out the last remaining Ultra. GG is called, and with that, Liquid Bunny takes this show match 5-2.